Well, here goes then, ladies and gentlemen. The 18 minutes of qualifying has started for the first time for season 1.5, a half season featuring 9 races with the blue division, what they call the top division of BPRL drivers. Over the next 9 races, and those 9 races cover a selection of fan favourite tracks, including Australia, Canada, Austria, Britain, Germany, Belgium, Italy, Singapore, I believe, and Brazil as well. I will double check that, of course. But welcome to the half season, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here as well. And as we get going, we will talk about some of the teams, some of the drivers, some of the stuff that's going to be happening, and talk about how competitive this division is actually going to be. I'm on Twig's channel. You may notice it's not actually Twig speaking, and you're right, it isn't. It's Captain Limmy. We're using Twig's channel to show the blue division, and Twig will be using another one for the red division too. You can find both of those links in the Discord and the Twitter, I'm sure. Hello to Gavin, and everyone, good luck from him, and I agree too. Blue division this season features 10 teams, 2 drivers on each. Mercedes have LRB and Slash, Ferrari, Q-Tip and LR Ghost, Red Bull, Ozone Zero and Lion, McLaren have Gavin and Venting, Renault have Tiggerman and Toast, Racing Point have Setzer and Ryan, Toro Rosso have Eltic and Machine Fisher, who can't make it tonight. Alpha have Spice and Bijan, and Haas have KV Lion and War I Wonder, and Williams has Pat and Cam. Reserves tonight, not tonight technically, but reserves that we have for the league: Mini Godboard, Spyrus Virus, Drone and Lewis. If you spot any of them on your left hand side, there you go. Let's take you on a lap of Australia. Who's about to cross the line? We've got a Williams coming up. Who is it? Let's have a look. It's Pat. Let's take you on a lap of Albert Park. I'm sure you're all very familiar with how Albert Park runs, but it's always a good track to start off with. Turn 1, it's going to be interesting on the start. Inside normally wins. Out of 2, down to 3 we go. A second DRS point for the drivers if they have it later on. Down to turn 3, tricky right-hander as well. Down to 4, left-hand 90-degree-ish. You can use the curves a little bit. Fully flat 45 most of the time. There you go, using that outside of the left curve. Down to 6, 90 degrees again. And easy to take a bit of curve on that one. 7's a left kink. 8 is this little right kink as well. Down to 9, another right angle to set you up for a curved straight, which is actually classed as one turn all the way down. Down to turn 11 we go, the left right-hander, really interesting, lots of penalties to be picked up tonight. Left-hander there, right-hander there, he cups the curve, still validated though. Down to 13 we go, we may see a couple of dive bombs here. This is 13, that's just after a GRS point as well. Down to 14, if you get this right you can save some time. These drivers I'm sure will be doing the best they can to get as much time. Down to a tricky 15, lay yourself out for 16, and down to the finish line you go, and at the end of the pit lane you will cross the line. Pat's time comes in, he goes second place. Tiggerman 19.757, 9.63 for Pat. Lions are 20.696, Cam's 21 dead, and Ozone is a 21.1. Only 5 times in at the moment. John's going to put in a time as well. He's going to come across the line with a 20.753, half a tenth behind Pat. It puts in 4th place. Racing Point of Setzer Orion is going to cross the line. It's Setzer, he puts in a 20.445, beating Lewis Hamilton's pole time, and 4 other people have already done that, but Setzer's got to find 3/4 of a second to match Tiggerman at the moment. Ryan is on an invalidated lap, so he's going to go again. There's a Haas behind, might be going into the pits. Let's find out. We'll flick through very quickly. I cannot find it. But there we go, lots of yellow flags, just people getting out of people's ways. The first layer of times are in, I guess. Is Gavin close to the finish? He goes into a pit. Where's Spice? He's invalidated as well. Where's Eltic? He's invalidated as well. And the other drivers are in the pit lane. It's going to be a really interesting season. Only 9 races, so something happens. And all the other drivers are being really, really consistent, and you're not. You're in a little bit of trouble. In this 9 race calendar. There is prizes as well, £25 for the winner, 15 for second, and 10 for third. Constructors as well, £10 each for teams. Got some very tasty teams out as well. There's no doubt about that. Of course, the racing point of Sector and Ryan, both of them very, very quick. I mean, Slash will be pretty good. Q-Tip, of course, the champion, with Ghost, who is very, very quick. KB Line and War Owner, they've proven themselves a lot, as have all the other teams. I don't know too much about all the other teams. I know that they've raced in BPRL and a couple of other leagues before, but the names I just mentioned, I've seen 3 or 4 times. Thank you for tuning in, if you are. For the Blue Division, round 1, we're just waiting, as quite a few cars are in the pits at the moment. So the first wave of times have come in, and Tigman leads the pack with a 1 minute 19.757. And that leader gap is separated by 1.6 already. The top 3 by 2/10. This division has some serious pace all the way around. I don't look at anyone and say, wow, you should be in the top half or you should be in the bottom half. Every single driver is going to have to race their heart out and their car to get the result they please. There's a Renault out as well, which I think is Toast making his way. He's going to be the first one to start the second wave of laps. And I did take a couple of screenshots of things to talk about, but I can't find where they are. But what we do know is that after tonight, someone is going to have a pretty good start, and some people, if they don't finish the race, are going to be quite far behind. Let's go on board with the Renault of Toast in a dynamic view on his lap. We normally do onboards, but let's do a bit of dynamic as he clips that curve of 1 and the curve of 2. He's got a bit of traffic in front of him. None of them are on their fast lap, I believe. So I'm sure they'll have to get out of the way very, very quickly, as Toast is only using 3 of his battery at the moment. He's not got a timing yet, actually, but I'm sure he will do very, very soon, as the McLaren is the first car to get out of his way. He's got an Alfa in front of him, who also nicely gets out of his way as he slows down, hence the yellow flag. And I'm very excited for F1 2020 as well. This season is taking us to that point too. Very excited for, of course, for new tracks, as Toast nearly loses his tank slapping back end out of the left-right chicane of 12. But he will still continue his lap because he hasn't got one in yet. We'll see how he does. We've got some traffic trying to get out of his way as well, as the racing point in front of him starts his lap, and Toast might get a tiny bit of a slipstream, which may help him just a tiny bit. Crosses the line, 21.357, goes P10 out of P11 so far. We've got Gavin, who has invalidated. Who else have we got on a fast lap? Eltink might be the next one to cross, I think, who's not invalidated. He's making his way down to turn 11 in his Toro Rosso, and tonight Eltink is partnered with Delta, I think. Toro Rosso, Eltink and Delta, yes, because Machine Fishy can't make it tonight as something came up for the man. Oh, LRB has retired, and where has he retired? He's retired coming out of turn 6 and 7, which is pretty rare, so LRB is not going to be able to improve his time. Delta's also gone as well in the Toro Rosso, and that is on the second to last corner as well, which is interesting. So Delta hasn't set a time, Let's go back to Eltink, who actually invalidated, so he's going to have to go again. Spice has invalidated. Lots of invalidations for these drivers at the moment. You are starting to think, did they actually practice? Gavin is on his fast lap at the moment, and let's keep on board with the McLaren as well. Couldn't have got a hairpin of 12. Very, very fine, but it didn't invalidate. And let's see what Gavin can do. He's coming, he's got a few more corners to go, not many. Pole at the moment is still Tigman's, 19.757. Set to close that a little bit, down from 6 tenths to 2. And let's see what Gavin can do then. He's 18, 19, and it's going to be a 21.472, so actually 471, which puts him at P13 at the moment. He has time to do a little bit better. Eltic didn't cut 11 very well actually, but came out of 12 okay. Might have cost him time initially, don't know. 25% of his battery left to try and improve on that time. And let's see if he can do that. He's also running out of fuel, as you can see by the fuel gauge, but he's still going to put his time in. And here we go then. So Eltic to cross the line with a 19.693. Eltink takes pole for now after a shaky turn 11, but he does take pole, which is good to see. And we've got a new pole sitter for the moment. There we go. I'm just making sure the stream is okay, and it is, which is good. Just over 6 minutes to go. Is Cam putting a lap in? No, he's invalidated. I think Bijan, I love that, is going to cross the line. He sets a 20.636, improves on his time, just 9 milliseconds away from Cam's time at the moment. Ryan is on his lap. Ryan hasn't put a lap time in yet, but I'm sure he will if he doesn't invalidate this one in his racing point vehicle. And of course qualifying isn't always the main talking point. It doesn't really get you anything, especially, I mean, pole position helps, but if you have a bad start you're in trouble, right? So it's all what happens in the race, what really counts for your race results. But qualifying is can be important. But Tigman sets a faster time of a 1 minute 19.446. It's a great time. It's more than a second quicker than Hamilton's time, IRL, which is really good. Ryan's quick as well though, so let's see what Ryan can do. He's now put that 5 battery on, cuts the curve nicely, 16. So cross the line very soon. It's 18, it's 19, crosses the line, 20.104. He goes 6th fastest, just less than a tenth slower than Sector, 2 tenths quicker than KV Line at the moment. As Bijan enters the pits, a couple of people on outlaps, and we've got 4 minutes and 40 left of the first qualifying session of the half season at the moment. So a lot of people on their outlaps, and we will cut to the people who will cross the line very soon, as Pat is not on the lap at the moment, and we might see the last burden of cars coming out. I haven't been told of anything to do with the weather. Pretty sure I've come across the philosophy that if you don't get shown the weather, it is dry. Right, who's going to be the first one to start? I think Gavin might be. He will be. There's a couple of cars coming out of the pits as well. It's probably about time they do that. And here we go then. Gavin sets himself up, short shift through the gears, whacks the ERS on a bit. The ERS is actually automated next step on, just like a bit more realistic, which is cool. But enough of that, we're here now. Gavin starts his lap time at the moment. He's P15, and that is not where Gavin will want to be. However, it is extremely competitive, this division, as we'll remain on board with Gavin and see how he's trying to cope with this Australian Grand Prix. It's a little bit cloudy, a little bit colder track temperature. It does play a little bit of a difference. LRB, who retired before, has dropped from 7th to 11th, and he might drop even lower. Q-Tip's 13th at the moment. He's on an outlap. So is Bjorn, so is Eltic, so is Line, so is Tim Venter. You might see a couple of the people who are still in the pits come out of the pits very soon. We've still got enough time to come out. I think 2 minutes 5 is the 40-second borderline. And there we go. Gavin cut nicely, didn't cut nice enough, locked both his tyres and cannot complete his lap. So Gavin is 16th and he's got left end plate damage and he won't improve on a 21.4 with that. So Gavin is starting at the back of the grid at the moment.